Hi, and welcome to After the Credits. My name is Tyler. We're about halfway through the movie year right now, so I figured I'd give you my top 5 movies of this year so far for me. Just a reminder, this is my personal list. You may, and probably do, have wildly different lists than the one that I am going to give out right now. Yeah, these are the movies that I have enjoyed so far this year. Number 5, Skinamarink. This is a low-budget horror, I'll put horror in quotes too, horror film that came out earlier this year. It wears its low budget on its sleeve, but I feel like that is to its advantage. There's so many dark corners and dark rooms that your mind kind of does a lot of the storytelling for you, because you start to imagine what's in there, what's hiding in that dark shadow. The sound design is kind of jarring too, but this is all done on purpose. And once you start to kind of realize what the movie is actually about, it just becomes a whole different level of horrific. It may test some people's patience. The only thing that I can really think of to compare this to is the original Blair Witch Project. There are long moments of silence, in between the shadows and the darkness. So, it is only an hour and 20 minutes long or something like that, but some people just might get bored with it. But I was enthralled and pulled in and really kind of enjoyed what the movie was. Number 4, complete pivot. It's going to be Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This one was kind of a wild card for a lot of people. Didn't really know if it was going to do well. It's actually doing all right, but it's just a lot of fun. You really don't see a lot of these kind of old school action adventure movies that get in, get out, and just kind of tell their story. Chris Pine is fantastic in the lead. His chemistry with Michelle Rodriguez is great. The movie never puts them in a romantic situation. They very much know what each other's characters are and use that to their advantage. She's kind of the brute. He's kind of the charming, witty bard, but also that gets them in a lot of trouble. It's directed by the guys who did Game Night, which was also a lot of fun. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. They do a great job. There's a bizarre cameo about halfway through that'll kind of have you questioning, is that who I think? Yeah, no, that definitely is. Kind of comes out of nowhere, but it adds to the fun of it. And the movie does a good job of acting as a player almost. They come up with ways to do things, and it's almost like they're rolling, and things either go wrong or things either go well. It's just a lot of fun. Number 3. I'm actually kind of surprised this one's as high on this list as it is, but I did enjoy this movie. Tetris. It's on Apple TV. It's the story of how Tetris was brought to America, and the backstabbing between these game companies who were trying to get the rights to it from Russia, and Russia kind of figuring out, they might have something bigger on their hands, and just the kind of Argo-esque story of how Tetris ended up being the worldwide phenomenon that it is. And Taron Egerton continues to be great. I loved him in Rocket Man. I enjoy him in the Kingsman movies. Once again proving that he's a fantastic leading man. And the story's a lot of fun. I even went... it's one of those movies that makes you want to go back and look at the Wikipedia and look up the facts of what actually happened. And while there are some fabrications to make the movie a little bit more exciting, a lot of it actually happened, which makes it really, really cool. Number 2 on this list is Polite Society. It's the story of a British Pakistani family. The main character, Rhea, she wants to be a stunt woman, and she has this really great relationship with her sister, Lena, who just can't seem to find a guy. And she ends up meeting this guy named Salim. And Rhea right away begins thinking that he's up to something and that this family, his family, is up to no good. And it's about her quest to kind of prove that right. It's a bizarre, kind of almost Edgar Wright-ish mix of comedy, action, kind of tiny dose of horror once you kind of realize what's going on. It's also weirdly a heist movie. It's a bunch of different genres all kind of thrown into this kettle, but it really, really works. It's really, really fun. The action's fun, and it kind of involves an aspect that, the arranged marriage and kind of the dynamic between Pakistani families that I don't understand, that I also kind of found fascinating as well. And number 1, John Wick Chapter 4. It's almost 3 hours long. There's 24... oh my gosh, I got the number mixed up. It's either... it's 13 action scenes. There's 13 action scenes throughout the entirety of the movie. I'm amazed that this franchise has lasted as long as it did. But Keanu Reeves keeps people coming back, and the fact that director Chad Stahelski really kind of amps each movie up and makes it bigger, more action-packed, and ups the game of the action scenes themselves, keeps people coming back, and this is no exception. Keanu's fantastic. You can very much tell that he's doing a lot of the action and stunt work himself. You will be exhausted by the end of this movie, but it's so well done, and just I've told a lot of people that the Raid movies are my favorite action movies. This is the closest that any American action franchise has gotten to the Raid franchise. So if you like those, you're going to continue to like the John Wick movies. Kind of leaves it still open for another movie. We'll see what happens. And that is my list. Those are my top 5 movies of the year currently. Come back and see us again here at After the Credits for more reviews and more fun movie tidbits.